Brother Tom asked me to preach, and I was like, man, because he's been doing a series in the book of James, and it's been a good series. If you haven't had a chance to be here and listen to it in person, I'd recommend that you listen to it online, like he mentioned earlier. You know, like it, share it, comment on it. People will see it. People will see the interaction, and maybe they'll learn something from it. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But you never know till they get the chance to hear it. So. But he asked me to come up here and deliver a message to you guys, and I'm thinking to myself, how do I follow up with a series like what he's been able to do? And I'm thinking to myself, what are my favorite things in life? What are my favorite things? And I thought, okay, food and Christ. So, I mean, of course, my family is pretty important to me too, but I like food, and she feeds me pretty well and feeds my kids pretty well, and that's two of my favorite things. So I thought, how am I going to make this work? And then I was thinking about, we got to talking about Ethan's birthday. It's next month, and what we're going to do, if it's going to be cake, if it's going to be, because when they turn 1, they get the chance to rip into cake, and it's all kinds of great fun, and they make a mess of themselves, and we can laugh at it later. And I'm like, was it going to be cake? Is it ice cream? Are we going to have cupcakes? Are we going to have brownies? Whatever it might be. And I thought, okay, cupcakes. I like cupcakes. I'm going to vote for those. So then I put 2 and 2 together, and I put something together that I think will be an encouragement to you all. I think and hope that it will be something that is relatable because it's food. And if you guys are like me, you like food. So when you think of food, you think of Christ. And that's hopefully what we're aiming for today. So I want to talk to you guys this morning about cupcakes. That's right, cupcakes. I think about cupcakes, and I think about, first and foremost, what attracts me to a cupcake? Well, most of the time, it's the packaging. That's my first point this morning, is the packaging. If you are a person that enjoys or likes or is attracted to certain things, then the first thing you do is you see what's on the outside of something. You see what it has to offer you. You see the Ghirardelli, I don't even know how the word is, if it's Ghirardelli or if it's, I know Betty Crocker. Betty Crocker is my favorite lady in the world, next to Little Debbie. I like her too. And, the packaging is what you see the most. And we as Christians, we show people what we have to offer. That's what they look at when they see. When the world sees us, what do we have to offer? The book of 2 Corinthians 5:17 tells us this. It says, therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away, behold, all things become new. And I'm not going to sit here and beat into your head the idea of when you're a new creature and you're a new creation and you're new this and new this, you're supposed to be able to put away old things, but that's kind of the way it works. When you're looking at the outside of something, and when you're looking at the outside of a package of brownies, or it's cookies, or whether it's cake, or whether it's the confetti cake with the little bitty with the coloring and the coloring in the batter and whatnot, you see what you get. But the thing is the inside what reflects the outside? Is the inside what reflects the outside? If you're going to open up yourself a big old Betty Crocker box of brownies, and you think to yourself, well, that doesn't look like what it is on the picture. Well, it's because it has to go through some certain steps. It has to be made. It has to be created. It has to go through a certain process before you take this mixture before it becomes what it is on the outside of the box. The packaging shows the world what we have to offer. We as Christian individuals show the world what we have to offer. We do it through our testimony. We do it through our speech. We do it through our reputation at work. There are businessmen in this place right now that people would not come to deal with you if you did not have a good reputation, if it were not so for the quality of work that you offer, or for your dependability, or just for the opportunity that people have said, yeah, that guy right there, I trust that individual. Yeah, that lady right there, she does a good job cutting hair, or whatever the occupation you might be. Your reputation, your testimony is all that you have to offer sometimes. And without that, what do people see on the inside? What do people see on the inside? When you represent Christ, you call yourself a Christian. And if you have that word, whether it's taped across your forehead, or whether it's taped across your chest, or whether you are an introvert like we said earlier and you have a hard time telling people about it, people can still see what and who you represent by your actions. Does your packaging reflect what's on the inside of the box? Now, cupcakes, man, I love cupcakes. They're fluffy. There's the potential there for them to, of course, if you overindulge, you might gain a little bit of weight. But you know what? You can enjoy them. And people can enjoy being around other people. People can enjoy being in your presence, and you can enjoy being in their presence. And the cool thing is that they can see what you have to offer. They get what you give. They get what you give. If you're willing to talk to them about Christ, or if you don't want to do that, if you don't have the ability to do so, you still have your reputation. You still have your testimony. Colorful and fun. Are you the type of individual that is somebody that people want to be around? You're the type of people that, he's just a big old grumpy pants. I can promise you one thing in the mornings, Sunday morning, now that time has changed, my little boy and my little girl, who are downstairs right now, they are grumpy. It's like fought a grizzly bear. My daughter is like the miniature version of that in the female form. So it's tough. We got things flying all over the place. She gets down and she's not happy at times. She wakes up in the morning and the first thing you do is hear a scream. It's like, oh, she's awake. That's what it is. And the thing is that when you show people that that's the type of person you are, then people don't really want to be around that. So me and Melissa, we flip a coin in the mornings. Okay, it's your turn. You go deal with her. I'll take care of Ethan. Ethan's pretty cheerful in the mornings. He's pretty easy to get along with. But I bring up this subject of cupcakes because I want to ask you, does the outside reflect the inside? Do you have Christ in your life? Do you have Christ on your heart? Does it show when you're around people? Does it show when you're talking to people? Does it show when people look at you from a far off distance? Does it show? Does the packaging reflect what's on the inside? The next part I want to talk to you guys about this morning is preparing them. Now, I don't know about you, but in my instance, in my 36 years of living on this earth, the preparing of cupcakes is probably the most anticipated part of it all, because you got to sit there and you used to watch Mama get the batter out, and she'd get the mixer, and she'd sit there and she'd turn it up, and she'd get the little mixer thing, and she'd sit there and stir it and stir it and stir it, and she'd have to crack the eggs, and it's like, Mama, are you done yet? No, wait. You have to prepare them. You have to prepare them. And then probably the second best part about eating about cupcakes is not so much eating the cupcake, it's licking the batter off of the beaters. Am I right? You guys know what I'm talking about. You can smile, you can nod your heads, it's okay. Interact with me a little bit. Lick the things. Be a kid, it's all right. But you have to prepare them. You have to prepare them. You have to put things into the mix. You know what? God puts things into our lives to help us prepare. To help us prepare stuff. You're going to go through those hard times. You're going to go through those trials. You're going to go through those tribulations. People that have encountered the COVID-19, they went through a hard time. Some people are still going through it. Some people still have the lingering effects of it. Some people it didn't affect quite as bad. Some people are going through, the financial hardships of losing a job. Some people are fortunate, very, very fortunate that they didn't have that problem to have to deal with. Some people, churches never close. Some people's churches are closed permanently. We all go through the hardships. We are all going through our preparation in order to become what is the end goal, and that is a nice, fluffy, morsely treat that we can eat. But you can't eat yourself, so let's back up for a second. God puts things into our lives here to enrich us and to help us realize the right from the wrong. It's very simple. This day and age, that the right thing and the wrong thing are becoming so blended together and becoming so confusing and becoming so much more so of a gray area that people these days cannot determine right from wrong. When I was a kid, you stole something, it was wrong. Nowadays, well, it's not stealing, it's, borrowing without permission. Nope, you really can't change the way you can change the way it's said, it still means the same thing. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And right is right, wrong, wrong, which means that we have to be able to practice that theory. All right? In the book of Hebrews, Hebrews chapter 13, verse 6, it says this, so that we may come boldly before the Lord, we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, God prepares us, but the preparing of those cupcakes can't happen by itself. Okay, I hate to say it like this, and I wish it was like this, even as an adult. When Melissa's not around, man, I want cupcakes, but I'm not going to make them. I'm just going to hold the egg right here. I'm going to put the bowl right here and say, egg, get in the bowl. It doesn't work that way. You actually have to put the effort into it. You actually have to, put a little bit of motivation behind it. You actually have to do and take the following steps, the proper steps. If you're going to build a house, you can't just say, build yourself. No, you have to have a blueprint. You have to have material. You have to have laborers. And you have to have people. If you're going to be an electrician, you have to know how to wire one wire, the positive and the negative in the ground, and make sure that you're not standing on rubber or in water when you push the negative to the positive, because it will bite you, from what I'm told. You have to follow the steps. You have to go through the right preparations, because things just don't happen by themselves. And we can't do it by ourselves. And that's the issue. That's the point. And that's why it says, so we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper. You want to know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because as strong as we are, and as much weight as we lift, and as many burdens as we carry on our shoulders, you still can't do it by yourself. You just can't. You're going to falter. You're going to fall. You're going to buckle. Your knees are going to give out. Many individuals in this room that are a little bit older than I am, and even in my case, my shoulder, I separated my shoulder many years ago. There are things that I can do still. I'm limited when the weather is cold. Believe it or not, that's not an excuse. It's truly the truth. But you're still going to go through the preparation. You still have to go through the steps, and you know for sure that those steps you can't take. You can't do it by yourself. So, if you're going to make cupcakes, first of all, you want to make sure that the package on the outside and the inside reflect. You want to see what's on the inside, look at what's on the outside. You want to have yourself some cupcakes, and you have to follow the proper steps, and you have to know that you can't do it alone. That's why, again, it says, the Lord is my helper. He's your helper. He's your strength. He's your shield. He's the book of Psalms talks about how he's your strong and mighty tower. He is all of those things and so much more. If you just say it, if you just admit to it, if you just reach out and you say, okay, I don't know how to make cupcakes. Will you please help me with this? I don't know how to handle this situation. Will you please help me with this? You have to mold cupcakes by pouring them in a cupcake pan. Isn't that what God does to us every single day? Every day he puts us into a new challenge, or he puts us into the oven, from the fire into the pan, so to speak. He's going to put us through those trials. He's going to put us through those temptations. He's preparing us for the end goal. All right? You can't go through life as a Christian without trials and tribulations. Just like a cupcake can't rise in the heat without protection, neither can we. You got to have Christ in your life. You got to have Christ in your heart, and you have to practice knowing that he's there. That's the faith part of what we've always discussed, and that's the faith. The third thing that I want to make mention of this morning, and I'm going to wrap this up, is the finished product. Now, I don't know about you, but I woke up this morning and my stomach was all hungry and whatnot, and I'm ready to eat. I want breakfast. We didn't get breakfast. We're not going to have cupcakes for breakfast. I'm sorry I didn't bring any cupcakes for you guys. I just didn't do it. But if you want what's on the outside, if you want that brownie, you want that cupcake, the inside looks like the outside. You have to go through the following steps. You have to prepare them. And if you want it to look as good as it is on the outside, then the finished product is a light, fluffy, delicious product, and you've withstood the different stages of everything that's gone through, from everything from the beating of the eggs to the mixing of it all to the putting in the milk. I don't know if you're supposed to put flour in the stuff, because sometimes they're already pre-mixed with all those things in there. But if you want the finished product, ladies and gentlemen, then you remember what Paul talked about how he finished his course and about how he ran his race and about how he has completed the life cycle that God put him through. God's going to put you through the ringer, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to put you through those things, but on the other side of all of what happens to you is the finished product. Like what Pastor Tom was discussing earlier, it's one or the other. It's either a heaven goal or it's a hell goal. It's either one way or it's the other. And now I'm not telling you that a cupcake is going to send you to hell, but I am telling you that without God in your life, helping you and preparing you and walking you through the things that you go through, then that's probably where you're going to go. I mean, there's no probably. That is where you will go. It's either heaven or it's hell. It's either the left or the right. It's either the right way or the wrong way. And you make that choice. You can eat all those cupcakes and you can suffer for it later with high cholesterol and diabetes and a bigger belly than what you really want, or you can take the time and you can enjoy those cupcakes over time, and you can enjoy living over time, and you can know and you can understand that you went through the preparations and you went through everything that was supposed to go through, and that on the other side of it all, that you have heaven to look forward to. You have heaven to look forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty simple this morning. It's a comparison. It's what it is. You can let the outside reflect the inside. You know that you're going to go through the preparations, and you can know that you're not going to be able to do it yourself. Cupcakes don't make themselves. They go through the steps. They have to go through the heat. They have to go through the beatings. They have to go through the turmoil. And on the other end of it all, you can come out the victor.